Hello and welcome back. It's Wednesday today, and I just got out of the shower, washed up, not my hair, just the body. Cold shower, by the way. Also shaved some of the scruffy stuff off. Getting clean, you know. But in case you guys haven't noticed, and you probably have, the last 2 days I didn't do this, and it's because I had to go to sleep late, wake up early. And I kind of pushed my time schedule so that I would wake up and just immediately, 20 minutes out of the house, headed to school. It was tough, you know, but now it's back to business as usual. It's a little bit easier. And that's kind of what I want to talk about now. These cycles. Because what I've noticed is life is kind of like a vibration. But it's true, you know, stuff, it goes up and down, it oscillates back and forth, good times, bad times, happy times, sad times, anger, calmness, rich times, poor times. And all we ever try and do, at least me and the people around me, what I've seen, all we ever try and do is find stability, find that flatness. But that's just not how it is. There's always going to be that side to side, that up and down, that non-steadiness, that vibration, oscillation, cycle, whatever you want to call it. It's always going to be like that, no matter how hard we try. And isn't that kind of what makes life fun? Isn't that kind of what it makes it interesting, right? Makes it interesting. If it was all flat, we'd probably get bored. Same thing over and over. It would just be monotonous. It would be like, what's the point of anything? But if we have these cycles, you know, we get to experience these great highs, and it's just pleasure and dopamine and just joy, greatness, achievement. And then it heads back down into the lows, and it's like a challenge to overcome, and it's tough, and you gotta push yourself and muster up the strength to lift yourself back out, and it gives you something to look forward to. You know, it makes the good times actually matter, because then you have something negative to compare it against, and that's just how it goes, up and down, always. Why do we keep chasing this stability? You know, I've almost in a way stopped trying to do that. Screw stability. It's never going to happen. You know, so now I've just accepted that my life is going through these cycles, and these cycles are normal and natural, and there's nothing to fear. Yeah, you know, I've been in kind of a downtime, but I have a feeling good time's coming soon. Pretty much this whole winter was a bit of a down low, back to school. Miserable. You know, things with my girlfriend. We had our fights. It was tough. Money-wise, not so great. Everything was crashing. Actually, that's kind of what's been like on my mind recently. It's this whole economy. Maybe I'll make a separate video about it, or I've got time to talk about it now. We'll make it a bit longer. We'll make this kind of an off-topic, whatever. So the economy, right? I think it's a complete fraud. Just a complete sham. From top to bottom. You know, the banks have us by the balls through all their debt. The government doesn't even know how to spend it anymore, right? We're in this world of greed and consumption and just completely overindulgence. That's the American lifestyle, just overboard. Everything is supersized here. Everything is just too much consumption, too much debt, living out of our means. And then what do? We waste all our time just trying to produce. That's what it is. It's all about production. And if you're not producing, you're a useless member of society. If you're not consuming, you're a useless member of society. And the more you produce and the more you consume and the more you produce and the more you consume, the better you are. And then throughout all of this, what's happened? All the wealth has gone from the poor, from the middle class, from the upper middle class even from some of like the rich. And it's just been pushed up and concentrated into the ultra wealthy, right? What happened in 2008? They gave out mortgages like they were free. Yay, everybody gets a home, 2 homes, 3 homes. Debt, 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 debt. And nobody ever thought about paying it off. And they just supersized their lives. And they consumed and the greed. And then, collapse. Economic collapse. The Great Recession, as they called it. Well, no shit. You took on way too much debt. Debt always has to be paid off. Always. And usually when you pay it off, there's interest. And it's worse than you were before. You see, debt is this crazy thing. And I don't like it. Because not only does it cost you monetarily, it costs you in all other aspects of life. You know, you have to give up almost like a piece of your soul to pay it off. But yeah, so all of that came to an end. And then what happens? Hop right back on the bus. The whole world economy just frauded out the taxpayers, me and you, normal people. It was really, really sad to see. I wasn't old enough to really understand until a few years later. But once I started researching it, you know, I saw how big of a freaking lie everything was. All that happened is they just printed more money. And so now, you know, all the signs are back. And that's what I've been thinking about. And that's what's been worrying me. And I know I shouldn't get worried because, like I said, there's these ups and downs. Economy is doing great. You know, some people might say it's better than ever. I think it's in a bubble. It's due for a correction, probably a big one. You know, we never really corrected out of 2008, 2009, the whole debt thing. Because back then it was mortgages, but now all the debt it's everywhere. You know, student loans. You've got corporations taking out corporate bonds that are complete junk that they're never going to pay off. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know any technicalities, but the CDOs, there's something called CLOs now. It's the same thing, but for corporations. You know, every corporation, yeah, you just get debt and debt and debt. You could take out almost like a mortgage for your company. And all these companies are going to have to pay it off. And that's going to tank the stock market, worldwide stock market. It's going to tank jobs. People are going to lose jobs. And as usual, who suffers? You know, the rich, they're probably not going to suffer. It's going to be the regular people, me and you. We're going to foot the bill. They're probably just going to print more money again. And just devalue USD, devalue CAD once again. We're going to lose jobs. Normal, everyday people are going to be homeless, jobless, starving on the streets without health care. It's going to be fucked up. It's really messed up. But like I say, ups and downs in life. And it's something I can't stop, so it's something I shouldn't worry about. I'll make a video more in depth about this so I can actually prepare and tell you guys all the shit that's going on. Because I could see it, you know, next year, maybe 2 years, I feel like there's going to be a big crash, a big correction back down because things are way too high. Way too high right now. You know, we're living the dream. Some people, no. Some people never recovered. Maybe for them it'll get better. I hope it does. But it's okay, you know, because I feel like in the end, society always finds balance. It always comes back to where it should be, all right? We pushed a bit too far. Now we're going to recede a little too low, and then we'll oscillate back to the middle. And then maybe again we'll push a bit too far, and then we'll come back too low. Hard crash, hard times. And then we'll have a nice period in the middle where everyone is happy. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen right now. Like I said, all the wealth, it's with the rich. That doesn't happen for long in history. If you look, kings and queens, emperors, when there's such a huge wealth disparity, when like literally the 0.001% have over 99.9% of the riches, the world finds a way of rebalancing that, because it's gone too far. The power, it's heavily tilted one way, and it doesn't stay like that for long. Now, I don't know how that's going to happen. I have some predictions, and I like thinking about it, theory crafting about it. It's fun. But ultimately, I know in my heart that that kind of inequality, that unevenness, that unfairness, it doesn't last. It doesn't last. I just hope it's not going to be like the last crash where regular everyday people suffer too much and then, pick up the slack for those wealthy elites. I've got nothing against those elites. It's, in a way, I don't even think it's their fault. It's just the way they've probably been unconsciously conditioned. From birth, probably their parents told them they're entitled to everything. So, of course, that's how they feel. It's probably not even their fault. It's just their unconscious mind. They're not yet awakened to the fact that every human, we all share this planet, right? So what's the point of greeding so hard to the point where there's still homeless people out there? There shouldn't be that gap where there's a homeless person outside of a $100 billion bank. It's not fair. But I guess it's not humanity's time yet. Everything happens for a reason. There's these cycles. Maybe one day the elite, the wealthy, will realize how much power they actually have and how much more beneficial it would be to share that with people. We'll probably have to go through a few more crashes before that happens, though. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Check it out. The snow's melting. And it's like my cold shower this morning. Sometimes you just have to clean off all of the dirt, all of the negativity, all of the excess. Nature goes through those cycles as well. You've got the warm summer, everything's fantastic, it's all a party. And then it goes back to winter. Cycle of good and bad. But in a way, it's not good and bad. Nature doesn't matter. Or it doesn't care, actually. The temperature doesn't matter to it. It just moves on, it trucks on no matter what. It doesn't fear it. It's the cycle of cold and hot. That's kind of why I take cold showers. Because they're better for you. Being in that state of discomfort, sometimes it's necessary. It makes you appreciate when times are actually good, when times are warm. And when I leave that cold shower, not only am I clean, but I actually feel warm inside. That's how the world is.